Tesla was founded in 2003 and they introduced their very first vehicle to the public in 2008. And this car was the Tesla Roadster, a two-seater sports car that was fully electric, and to be honest, it kind of resembled a Lotus Elise. 4 years later, in 2012, Tesla released their very first mass-market, mass-production vehicle, and that was the Tesla Model S. The Tesla Model S changed the way that we view electric cars, it changed the way that car manufacturers work, and it also changed the path of Tesla forever. Originally, back in 2012, the Tesla Model S was priced at $57,400 for their base model and $87,400 for the long-range performance edition of the car, and the car was a massive success. Tesla and the Model S single-handedly changed our perspective of electric vehicles, and it took us from associating an EV with something like a Toyota Prius to associating it something that is sexy, cool, and fast, and that's exactly what the Model S in Tesla was. The years following the Model S, Tesla released a number of different vehicles, including the Tesla Model 3, which was designed to be an affordable option compared to the Model S. They introduced a Model X, which was an SUV version, and they also introduced the Model Y, which was sort of a crossover vehicle. And over the last 10 years since the Tesla Model S was released, the stock price has absolutely skyrocketed, going from sitting at about $5 to $6 per share back in 2012 to hitting an all-time high back in November of 2021, where it reached $1,200 per share. With nearly a $1 trillion valuation, this has made the founder and CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, the wealthiest person in the world. But over the last couple of months, the aura surrounding Tesla has begun to dissipate, and it seems as though the narrative surrounding both Elon Musk as well as Tesla is changing. Tesla market share in the EV space is decreasing, the Tesla stock price is declining, and really recently, Tesla announced that they would be laying off about 10% of their salaried workforce. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down what exactly is going on with Tesla. I'm going to be talking about the events that have led to where we are today, and I'm also going to be going over why I personally think that Tesla is in trouble. So let's get started. There is no doubting that Elon Musk is one of the, if not the smartest person of our time, and his accomplishments are absolutely not limited to Tesla. In 1995, Elon Musk was a co-founder of Zip2, which eventually sold to Compaq for $307 million. 4 years later, in 1999, he co-founded X.com, which eventually became PayPal, which sold to eBay in 2002 for $1.5 billion. In 2001, Musk founded SpaceX, which currently has a $125 billion valuation. In 2003, he founded Tesla Motors. In 2006, he co-founded SolarCity, which currently has a $2.6 billion valuation. And in 2016, he founded The Boring Company, which currently has a $5.7 billion valuation. And these are just to name a few. I don't think most of us, including myself, truly understand just how smart Elon Musk is. And though Elon Musk has done a ton of good for the world, including normalizing and introducing EVs to the mass market, in 2014 he pledged that Tesla patents would be open source, which means that people could use Tesla technology within reason without fear of getting sued. And throughout the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Elon Musk has provided Starlink internet services to Ukrainians, which has been accredited as being a lifeline for Ukraine by Ukrainian President Zelensky. There is no doubt that Elon has done a ton of good. In fact, I would argue that he has done a lot more good than bad. But for the purpose of this video, I want to focus on why Elon Musk, at least as we stand today, may be doing more harm than good for the Tesla brand and for Tesla investors. Elon Musk has always been a loose cannon, but his odd and erratic behavior has seemed to escalate over the years. In 2018, Elon Musk seemingly out of nowhere tweeted out that he had secured enough funds from Saudi Arabia in order to bring Tesla private, and that all that needed to be done was a shareholder vote in order to seal the deal. This, of course, sparked an investigation by the SEC, and the SEC found that this was simply untrue and it was a reckless tweet made by Musk. And as punishment for this tweet, Elon Musk was charged $20 million in fines and was ordered to resign as chairman of the Tesla board. He also had the notorious Joe Rogan interview where he was smoking a joint. This interview has since been living in the meme universe ever since. And you may remember about 4 years ago whenever 12 young boys were stuck in a cave in Thailand. Well, when the rescue mission was being planned out to rescue these boys from this cave, there was a head diver that was in charge of picking the team that would head this mission. And Elon Musk was angered by the fact that he was not selected to be a part of this team. So Elon Musk ended up taking to Twitter to express his frustrations, where he called this head diver diver, that pedo guy. And though Elon Musk did eventually end up apologizing, the head diver sued Elon Musk for defamation, and though the conclusion of this lawsuit ultimately sided in Elon Musk's favor, it really wasn't a good look for Elon or Tesla Motors. And that was just in 2018. If we fast forward to 2020, that's whenever it gets even more dicey, because this is whenever the Dogecoin and Bitcoin fiasco begins. In July of 2020, Elon Musk tweeted out that Dogecoin would become the global financial standard, and he cited that this was inevitable. Then on December 20th, 2020, Elon Musk made another tweet about Dogecoin. That same day, Elon expressed interest in converting large transaction of Tesla balance sheet into Bitcoin, and these two tweets caused both Bitcoin as well as Dogecoin to absolutely skyrocket. About a month later, on January 29, 2021, Elon Musk added the hashtag Bitcoin to his Twitter bio. A month after that, in February, he tweeted out that Dogecoin was the people's crypto, which sent Dogecoin surging 60%. And roughly a month after that, it was announced by Elon Musk on Twitter that Tesla would start taking Bitcoin as payment. Throughout the next 4 to 6 weeks, Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency in general was beginning to skyrocket, and in many ways, this was accredited to the attention that Elon Musk was bringing to these platforms. It was then announced that Elon Musk would be hosting an episode of SNL, and Dogecoin investors were absolutely enthusiastic about the positive press that Elon could bring to the coin on SNL. In fact, many people believed that this would be the moment that Dogecoin would finally surpass $1 and go to the moon. But when Elon Musk finally did appear on SNL, he referred to Dogecoin as a hustle, which sent the coin crashing down.
National money.
Oh, so it's a hustle.
Yeah, it's a hustle.
Why didn't you say that, man?
And then finally, a few days after his SNL appearance, Elon Musk announced through Twitter that Tesla would no longer be accepting Bitcoin as payment, citing environmental concerns. This then brings us to present day, which is the controversy surrounding the acquisition of Twitter. I suppose this isn't really a controversy, but the exact motive surrounding around why Elon Musk wants to purchase Twitter is definitely in question. Is it a legitimate business move? Is it a vanity move? Is it a publicity stunt? Or is it all the above? But regardless of the motive, there is one thing that is true, and that is this Twitter acquisition is not good news for Tesla. In April of 2022, Elon Musk announced on Twitter that he had made an offer to purchase Twitter for $44 billion. This deal was accepted, of course, pending due diligence on the part of Elon Musk. And within a few days following the announcement of the acquisition, Tesla shares fell more than 12%, and Elon Musk sold $8.5 billion worth of Tesla stock. Though, as I sit here today and as I record this video, the Twitter acquisition deal has been put on hold because of a dispute regarding how many fake accounts actually are on Twitter. Elon Musk is a loose cannon, and though his approach and his strategy has served himself and Tesla well thus far, as Tesla makes the shift from being a niche product company, which is what it was back in 2012 with the Model S, to a mainstream vehicle manufacturing company, which is really what it's been for the last 5 years, his erratic behavior, his chaotic tweets, and his just general approach to running a business isn't going to fly. Elon Musk has reportedly fired people at whim whenever he's angry. He's also reportedly refused to go home and take a shower and has instead opted to sleep on factory floors in order to ensure that production is on time. And more recently, he sent out a company-wide email saying that remote work would no longer be allowed and that employees would be required to work at least 40 hours in office every single week, and if these workers weren't able to do that, then they would need to resign. Elon Musk has received a lot of criticism for this move, and though it isn't an odd thing for companies to require their workers to come back into the office, Netflix is doing it, Google's doing it, to an extent Apple is doing it, the way in which Elon approached this is really what's being criticized. This message was delivered in a very flippant, casual way, and yet the message was very harsh, it was very aggressive, and it really didn't leave any flexibility to the worker. And to make matters worse, while this email was circulating online, Elon Musk took to Twitter to imply that anybody that wants to work from home is simply lazy, and that the pandemic tricked us into thinking that we don't need to work hard, which isn't really the case. Many people believe that this very black and white viewpoint with work from home or hybrid working is going to cause Tesla to lose top talent, while many other experts believe that this entire move was probably intentional on the part of Elon Musk. And it seems as though this theory was confirmed because on June 3rd, just a few days after announcing a strict work-from-home policy, Elon announced that they were going to be letting go about 10% of salaried employees, and they would also be implementing a hiring freeze. Once again, this news was delivered in almost an erratic, casual manner via email, and once the news broke mainstream media, it sent Tesla shares falling more than 8%. Tesla has been plagued with production issues really since its infancy over the last 10 years. And one of the biggest issues that Tesla has when it comes to production is their perpetual habit of over-promising and under-delivering. In 2016, Elon Musk made the promise that full self-driving would be delivered within 2 years, but as we sit here today in 2022, it is still set as coming soon. In 2017, the Tesla Roadster was announced and production was supposed to start in 2021. The Cybertruck was announced in 2019, production was supposed to start in 2021, but as we sit here today, production still has not been started and there isn't a clear date on when it will start. The Model 3 was created, announced, and marketed as being an affordable electric vehicle, something that could be an alternative to the Model S at a very affordable price point of being $35,000 for the base model. But as we see here today in 2022, there's never been a $35,000 price point Model S. In fact, the base model price for a Model S is currently at $46,900. These are just a handful of the over promises that Tesla has made over the years, but believe me, there are many more. On the same topic of production is just general production quality and the issues that many customers are finding with their very expensive cars. From squeaky interior panels to loose interior panels, exterior panel gaps, overspray, underspray, the issues of Tesla vehicles go on and on and on. Now, many people will defend these issues, stating that in most cases, if you point these issues out to your Tesla service center, Tesla can remedy the problems for you. Others will say that production issues like this are an industry standard amongst vehicle manufacturers. And all of this may be true to an extent, but there is no denying that the production issues that Tesla experiences are significantly more common than other vehicle manufacturers of the same price point. Tesla stock has been a Wall Street darling for many years, and I think it's safe to say that Tesla stock has made a lot of investors a lot of money. In 2012, the stock price was sitting right about $5 to $6 per share, and it ended up hitting its peak in November of 2021, where it surpassed $1,200 per share. But over the years, as Tesla stock has climbed and as it's amassed a nearly $1 trillion valuation, the question that often comes up by investors and stock market enthusiasts like myself is the question of, is Tesla overvalued? Tesla has a PE ratio of 105.16. A PE ratio is a price to earnings ratio, and what this does is it gives you an idea, at least a rough idea, of whether or not a stock is overvalued or undervalued. Whenever you're analyzing a PE ratio, a good rule of thumb is that any PE ratio over 50 can typically be considered an overvalued stock. So whenever we keep this in mind and we look at Tesla's PE ratio, which is 105.16, you can definitely come to the conclusion that yes, Tesla's overvalued. But the problem is PE ratio is just a small part of the equation and it doesn't even come close to painting the full picture of whether or not you can actually decide if Tesla is overvalued. There has been a long-standing justification with Tesla that the reason why their share price is so high today isn't because of what Tesla is doing today, it is instead what Tesla is set to do in the future. Between robo-taxis, insurance, semi-trucks, as well as full self-driving, there has been justification that a $1 trillion valuation is in fact justified. But there is of course a counter argument that says that that is not justified at all, and that the reason why Tesla sits where it is today from a stock price standpoint is because of the cult-like following that Tesla has, which has in turn driven the price up. Now, in order to dive deeper into this question of whether or not Tesla is overvalued, let's dive deeper into the numbers of Tesla compared to the numbers of the competitors in the automotive space. While Tesla has a market cap of nearly $1 trillion, being the most valuable car company in the world, the second most valuable car company is Toyota, which has a market cap of just 25% of that of Tesla's. Toyota's market cap is just around $250 billion. And Toyota is the closest competitor. As far as market capitalization goes, Tesla absolutely blows every other car manufacturer out of the water, from Ford to GM, BMW, Mercedes, and more. But whenever you look at every other metric that is indicative of a company's success, Tesla is absolutely crushed by its competition. In 2021, Tesla revenue was $53.8 billion, which was a record year for the company, and during the same year, they sold just under 936,000 cars. That same year, Toyota did $245 billion in revenue, and they sold 10 million cars worldwide. Ford Motor Company did $136 billion in revenue, and they sold 4 million cars. And Mercedes did about $150 billion in revenue, and they sold about 2 million cars. The point here is that whenever you look at key figures, whenever it comes to revenue and production, Tesla falls short in almost every single category, and yet their stock price is still light years ahead of the competition. Now, one key argument that's often brought up whenever you talk about Tesla being overvalued compared to other auto manufacturers manufacturers is the fact that Tesla is not an automobile company, and thus you can't compare it to Ford, GM, Toyota, or Mercedes. Instead, people oftentimes associate Tesla with a tech company, and because of that, what you really need to do is compare it to Google, Amazon, and Meta. And at first glance, this argument makes sense because tech companies typically trade at a higher PE ratio compared to a lot of other industries. And whenever you look at Tesla, it does have a lot of tech undertones about the company. But according to Tesla's own earnings call, 100% of their revenue comes from automobiles. So you can't be considered a tech company whenever 100% of your sales revolves around the automotive industry. But for the sake of this argument, even if you were to consider Tesla a tech company rather than an automotive company, the argument that Tesla isn't overvalued still wouldn't really make sense. Because when you compare Tesla to companies like Meta, for example, the PE ratio is still high while revenue growth is comparable, if not worse, and it's trading at a higher price than Amazon, which at the end of the day just doesn't make sense. Tesla has no doubt accomplished a ton in its relatively short life, but does the performance and numbers of Tesla justify the insane valuation of the company? I made a video a few weeks ago talking about Carvana, and in that video I talked about the fact that I believe that over the last 10 years we have been in a tech bubble that has been caused by our undying love for technology. From a consumer standpoint, an investor standpoint, as well as an employee standpoint, we've wanted to be involved with technology. We want to buy technology, we want to invest in tech companies, and we want to work for the best tech giants that can offer us these insane perks. In that video about Carvana, I explained that our fixation and blind love for tech companies have allowed for many tech companies to flourish despite the fact that they have some major red flags. And this was certainly the case with Carvana. And to a lesser extent, I kind of believe that the same thing is happening with Tesla. Tesla has no doubt changed the world, and what Tesla and Elon Musk have accomplished over the last decade is impressive beyond words. But I also think that the growth and the rate in which Tesla is expanding is simply unsustainable in the long term. Tesla is no longer a small company, and it hasn't been for a long time, and yet Elon Musk operates Tesla like it's a privately held corporation, disregarding investors, consistently shooting from the hip in a really erratic, spontaneous way, and also taking a complete disregard for Tesla image and the company as a whole. Tesla has done incredibly well the last 10 years, and in large part that's because of the fact that if you wanted an electric vehicle that didn't look like a box, Tesla was your only option out there. And the fact that Tesla is an automotive company with a key emphasis on technology allowed for the company to flourish. But the reality is times are changing. Now, don't get me wrong, Tesla still absolutely dominates the EV space in the United States, but competition is rapidly heating up. Rivian is rolling out their luxury adventure vehicles, Lucid is competing with the Model S, the Ford Mach-E is the third best-selling electric vehicle in the United States so far in 2022, the Ford F-150 Lightning is expected to do exceptionally well and it will beat the Cybertruck to market, and other brands like Hyundai and Kia are making actually affordable electric vehicles, which is something that the Model 3 was intended to be, but absolutely never was. For many years, Tesla has been able to get away with Elon Musk's erratic behavior, their poor production timeline, and their poor production quality. But competition is rapidly heating up, and these things that customers at one point in time were willing to turn a blind eye to are soon going to be things that will cause a customer to go to a competitor. And sure, there are still many people that will live and die by the Tesla brand. There are customers that will always choose Tesla over any other electric car in the market. But there are many others like myself, for example, that may have considered buying a Tesla at one point in time. But now that there are so many other options to choose from on the market, they're just going to simply wait and see what other manufacturers have to offer. And in many ways, this let's wait and see mindset that many consumers in the EV space are having is due to the fact that Tesla has a poor quality standard, their production timelines are iffy at best, and they're an unpredictable company as a whole. Tesla has a lot of issues they need to work through. Elon Musk, though a visionary, I believe is a long-term risk to the Tesla brand. Their production quality is turning on-the-fence customers away, and their stock price is undoubtedly overvalued. Now, I don't think Tesla is going anywhere anytime soon, if ever, and I don't think that their stock price is going to be crashing to the ground. But I do think that Tesla is changing, times are changing, and as vehicle manufacturers are introducing more and more electric vehicles into the EV space, I personally think that Tesla is in for a rude awakening. But like always, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it. So make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video.